Hi, my name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother. And I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. So today we are talking about failures. And I want to talk about that to you in a way that is empowering, in a way that you can use, in a way to change your historical perspective of that, in a way that in a way that you change the negative connotations around the word failure. And I want to show you how you can use it as a tool, and how failure really came to show you what it is that you can improve on to get to the goal it is that you are trying to reach. So, per usual, I will talk about this from a two-pronged approach, in your business, if you will, and personally. So I'm going to start out personally, and I'm going to dig all through our business, right? So I want to talk about this personally from the perspective of your own self-image, specifically weight, right? You all know, just from, if you follow me even for a little while, you know I was a lot heavier than I am now. Whole long story about that. Go look at some old videos if you want more information about that. But the short of it is, I've lost naturally just about 100 pounds. And I fluctuate within about 10 pounds, right? Kind of will go up and down. And right now I'm on the upside of that. I've gained about 6 pounds of the 100 that I've lost. So I had this situation where I just, for about 6, maybe even 8 weeks, I was not working out. And I want you to tell me if you see yourself in this. Hit me with some hearts or some other situation that's similar with this. But bottom line is, I was not I was not working out, and I was not taking care of myself the way that I really knew that I should be, and the way that I really try to conduct my life. Well, Well, when I got back into the swing of things and I started to go back into working out, right, it has been rough. And when I say rough, meaning my cardio level, it is so hard for me to keep up in these group exercise classes that I'm having. I'm trying to get back into running, and I just cannot seem to really get my wind back up. Certainly it's not where I remember it to be or where I'm used to it being. It has been an absolute struggle over the last couple of weeks just going in there, right? So I don't spend a lot of time dwelling on what it is I can't do. I'm always looking for, what did this come to teach me? The lesson in whatever it is that I see as a failure. So as I was talking to my husband today, I told him, I said, I'm going to say this for the last time in this way, and then I'm going to turn this into affirmative self-talk with myself, but I have to get this out. And what I told him is like, wow, I can't believe I'm this out of shape. I can't believe that I allowed myself to get here. And even as I spoke those words to him, it reminded me of what it is that I need to do. Now, I want to pause here and show you the lesson in this. There is no way that you can know what you don't like, or what you can't do, and not know what you need to do. So a lot of times people think that they are praying to find the answer, but actually your prayers have been answered. Every time you're shown, or what you perceive to be a failure, that you can't do something, you know automatically what it is that you need to do. So for me, in that working out, and me saying, gosh, I am so out of shape, gosh, I can't believe I've allowed myself to get this far behind, immediately I knew for myself that I needed to come and work out every single day. I needed to do what it took to get me back to where it is that I was. So that meant some consistency. That meant perseverance. That meant discipline for me. Right away, I knew what it was that I needed to do. So that failure, if you will, again, because I don't have any negativity around that word, I feel very comfortable using it. So that failure for me, for example, I had a group exercise class today. I was only able to do about 25 minutes of that hour. That was quite okay with me, because it let me know, Shirley, you'll be in there tomorrow for sure, because you need to get back to the point where you can do that full hour and be okay. Does that make sense to you? Is there something in your life where you saw a perceived failure and where you can kind of look at it a little more closely and find the value in knowing exactly what it is that you need to do and make some changes and an effort to do that? I also want to take it a little bit more personal. I have clients who have gone through or are now going through divorces. Now, that is one of the hardest things I can only imagine that you go through, right? Because nobody gets married to get a divorce. I think we get married because we're in love and we have this idea of how it is we want to live our lives. Yes, Tracy, yes. Very good. Well, the time is now. But we have this perception of how it is we want our lives and envision ourselves with our significant other or our soon-to-be or our spouses, whatever the case may be. But then life happens, and for whatever reason, you divorce. Not really interested in going into the particulars of that. But what I want you to do and understand about that, for those of you who may be going through a divorce or a breakup or some type of separation that you did not foresee coming, I want you to see the value in the experience that you had with the other person. Sometimes you have children with them, right? And so, of course, there's value in that. But even if you didn't have any children, the life experience that being with that person taught you is invaluable. It can't be changed, and it's making you stronger for the next step in your life. You learned exactly what it is that you do not want, that you will not tolerate, and how to do it better. So there's great gratitude that should be shown for every aspect of your life, even if you're going through a divorce. So Tracy, you're saying I haven't been in a relationship in years because of fear of getting hurt again. Absolutely. People, you're not the only one who's going through that, Tracy. There's a lot of people who build a wall basically around their heart because they've been so severely hurt in the past. But what I hope that you're hearing from me is that nothing went wrong with that. The hurt that you feel right now, you're choosing to hold on to that opposed to getting the lesson and being stronger from that. Does that make sense? You have the power to change your story. You created that one. You can create a new one. And we have to own that power unapologetically. We have to own that power boldly. And we have to go out and create the life it is that we want. So that's for my people who are going through some type of separation, divorce, or some type of indifference in your life in terms of relationship. Understand that that failure is actually, it came to show you and to make you into a better person. I want to talk about this in terms of a health aspect. So I have a lot of people who, they have colds, right? It's cold and flu season. That weather gets to changing and our body's just adjusting and our immunity is retweaking or firming itself up. And a lot of people are getting colds, flus, allergies are coming out, things like that, really simple things. And I want you to stay with me on this. And I want you to understand that your body, you're not catching a cold just to make you sick. Does that make sense? Your body is just not getting a cold because it doesn't have anything else to do. Your body the cold came into your body, or your allergies or whatever it is. It came into your body to let you know that you need to take better care of yourself. You need to pay more attention to your health, whatever the case may be. So even if it's allergies, perhaps there's something that you can do locally. Like I know for us, my girls have allergies. And I hear and understand that you can do natural things like using local honey to get yourself or grow an immunity to the severity of allergies or to some extent of the allergies. Whatever it is, it's our own business to research out that information and find out what it is that you can do in order to improve your health. That's the reason that you fell ill or are not doing the best that you could or are not in optimal health. So I want you to take that and understand that it all came to you to make you better. There's nothing going wrong right now in your life. Everything is going right. Everything has come to you in order to make you better. So now lastly, I want to talk about that now that I have really grinded out with you in terms of your personal life with that whole failure aspect and using it as a tool. I am going to talk to you about that in business. It's really very similar, and per usual, really the personal and the business, it really runs congruent and intersects most times. And the same is true for this. In business, when you are, for example, I am a speaker, and I think about all the wonderful talks I've been able to have. One second here, it says, do you recommend an easy to understand books on foods that help different health issues? I do. And let's talk about that a little bit more here in a second, Tracy. Great question. I love that. But in business, when we are talking about using failure as a tool, I want you to see how it runs very similar to your personal life. If you, like I was telling you, I'm a speaker, and I've had the opportunity to speak in some wonderful places to some wonderful people, and just really had a great opportunity to connect. I value what it is that I do, and I know that I do what I do well. I know that I'm a great speaker, and I'm thankful for that. I've worked at it, and I've worked hard at it, but it doesn't mean that I am without error. So I had this amazing excitement around this one speaking engagement that I had several months ago now. And gosh, I just couldn't wait to go there. I flew out to this speaking engagement. It was really amazing. And you all, when I tell you that I flubbed miserably, I just could not get my groove going for whatever reason it was. And gosh, while my client was happy, they were okay with it, I knew that it was not the best. I knew that I could do way better, and I knew that for whatever reason, I just was not on point that day. Well, at first I was kind of knocking myself, and I always allow myself to have the feelings that I'm having because they're real, they're authentic, and I think that they came to make me aware of something. So that's the first thing. In frustration, when you initially have those feelings of defeat, sadness, whatever the case may be, allow them. Do not try and push them down, because the only thing that will happen when you do that is they'll come up in some other form. And what you'll have is misplaced aggression towards someone or something else. So allow yourself to process those feelings at that moment. Don't live there, meaning don't stay in that space, but allow it so you can figure out what it is that you need to do better. So once I did that, it came to me and it helped me to understand not to take my gift for granted. While I know that I'm amazing at what it is that I do, I still have to practice just like everyone else. I still have to invest in myself in terms of personal development, in terms of speaking all the time, in terms of recording myself, critiquing, garnering feedback from others outside of even paying clients. I still need to do that at all times to make sure that I am honing my craft, to make sure that I am living up to the standard in which I have set for myself. I see you understand. Thank you for those hearts. Thank you. So when I flubbed that whole speaking engagement, again, by my standards, I understood very quickly after dealing with processing and dealing with my emotions that was the reason that happened. That was the reason that I felt that way, because I knew I could be doing better. So that didn't just happen just because I'm not a good person, right? Just because those clients weren't good for me. That came to show and remind me that there was something more that I needed to do in order to improve. Look at your business and see where it is that you may be failing, and figure out what it is that you need to do to be improving. Does that make sense? So I hope it does. I really do. Thank you so much for all the hearts. For anyone who is watching this replay, I definitely want to hear your comments and see what it is that you feel about that, either personally or in business. How is it that this has happened to you and you possibly have been feeling some kind of way about what you consider to be a failure, and how you didn't use it as a tool to empower you to be better going forward, or how you did do that, and what tips you would recommend for the next person. So I hope that helped you. I'm going to hang around a minute and talk to, I see Tracy had an amazing question, and I definitely want to get back to that. But for those of you who are ready to check out, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And remember, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought you could be. Bye.